Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. It's great to be with you again. I'm going to be doing my annual video where I show you all the WIPS I have got, and we tally up and see how many WIPS I've managed to knock off or improve in about a year's time, or whether or not I have still got a whole lot of WIPS. Now, I think it's safe to say I definitely do have a whole lot of WIPS. However, I'm curious to see whether my list of WIPS has reduced or grown over the course of the year. So grab something to drink and something to snack on, and let's have a look at all my WIPS. All right, I'm going to move my books to one side. I have got here my previous list of WIPS. I'm going to go ahead and get some fresh paper, and we're going to make a new one together. All right, so first we're going to start with Kanoka Igusa's books. Now, previously I had one in Garden of Fairy Tale Animals and one in Kingdom of Curious Creatures. I don't think I had started Symphony of Cute Animals, so let's see if I've improved or made it worse. So I'm going to start at the back of the book because it's actually just easier to look through, and we're just going to quickly just flip through. So colored, those are done. Okay, so this one was a WIP, but now I've completed it, so that's a win. I don't think I have any more in here, but you never know, so I'll just quickly flick through. Okay, I don't have any WIPs in here, so this is really cool because that means there has been success. So I'm going to color this block in to show that it's done. Okay, so next is Symphony of Cute Animals by Kanoka Igusa. Now I think I do have a couple of WIPs in here. So I have this WIP, so that's one. I suppose technically two. I was testing Castle Art pencils, so that's two. I will be honest the whole way through all these books. Two, so far just two. Okay, three. So this one's a third. Okay, so Symphony of Cute Animals wasn't on this list, so I'm going to put it on my new list, and I'm going to put in 3 blocks to represent my so I'm not going to worry about doing them perfectly. I'm just going to stick them in. Okay, so all right, then we have Kingdom of Curious Creatures, and let's have a look. I know I've got one WIP in here. The question is, do I have more? Okay, so this is an old WIP. For some reason, I've just frozen on it, and I need to persevere. Quite frankly, I'm at that ugly stage where you need to persevere through to get past it. All right, so 1, and then a double page, so that's 2. Okay, so I have 2 WIPs in Kingdom of Curious Creatures. So I'm going to draw those in. Now, technically here, I had 1, so I've actually added. So what I'll do is I will use a different color for like old WIPS. So I'll use like a purple color. So purple will represent old, black will represent new. Maybe I should have done it the other way around. Okay, so let's move on to Malpamini Chatsapana Gyatso. Okay, so I have 1 WIP in here, which is the spider page. I don't think I have any more. So this was a WIP, but I completed it. And I actually like how it turned out. Okay, so 1 WIP in here. All right, so Circle of Life, I had 1 WIP, so I did do that one. So that's a win, but I have got a new one. It's hilarious. Like, do 1, get 1. Okay, so Circle of Life, I have 1. And then in a Maritime, I definitely have a couple of WIPs. So I have the first one, so 1. This one, 2. This will probably stay a WIP for a really long time. I really love how it looks, and I'm so nervous I'm going to ruin it. So 2. All right, then I have this one, 3, but I also think I'm going to go over it with gouache paint and redo the background. Okay, so 3 WIPs in here. So last year in a Maritime, not in that one, here, I had 3 and I still have 3. So actually, I should be doing this in purple because they're old. I haven't added new. Oh my goodness. See, this is what I get for trying to be fancy. Okay. Just confused myself. Okay, so then When Dragons Dream, I technically have 4 WIPs, as you can see here. So I should, in theory, have 4. So 1. I suppose you could, I'm going to count these sides. These are really big books. Let me just zoom out a bit more. So I'm going to count both these, kind of like 1, 2, right, 3, 4, okay, so I still have 4 whips. Right, so then next is Nakoneko's Story of Precious Cats. Okay, now as far as I know, I don't have a whip in here because I've only colored 1 page. Oh, that's the page I've colored. Ah, there we go. There's 1 whip. So on the characters page, I've got a whip. So Story of Precious Cats was also a new book to me, so it will have 1 whip in it. So I have Mythographic Paradise, which has 3 whips. So let's see if I've improved. All right, 1 whip, which I don't know, may always stay a whip, but we'll see. This one was colored, so this was a whip, but I colored it, so that's good. That one is colored. Okay, here's the second whip, so 2 whips. Okay, so I only have 2 whips. So I must have colored. All right, let's do this again. All right. This front part of the book, I knew I didn't have any whips. So what were my whips? It might have been this one. That was quite early on in 2023, so I'm not sure now. So 1, this one I colored, so that one is colored. That was a whip. Maybe it was this one. It may have been this one which I colored. One. Well, I did well too. Okay, well, I can't remember what were whips last year and what I did do, but okay, I've dropped it down. I've got 2 left. So all right, we need a black pen. No, we need a purple pen. 1, 2. All right, so let's see. Mythographic Voyage. Now Voyager had one WIP, so let's see, did I do it? So I think it was this one. So that one was colored in. No, it wasn't that one. I know which one it is. I remember. I'll just double check. So this was the WIP. So that's one. Okay, so I didn't make any improvement there. I had one, I still have one. All right, Magical Earth, I completed that WIP. So technically Magical Earth should not have any WIPs in. But I do have one WIP, so one. Okay, so I have one WIP in Magical Earth, and it looks like it's a new WIP, so. Okay, and then we have Mythographic Frozen Fantasies. I think I just have one WIP in here. Which is this WIP. I am filming it as a color along, so yeah, filming it and editing it are two different things. I generally can't film it, it's the editing that tends to take a while. Okay, so it's one WIP. And Frozen Fantasies last year also had one WIP. So that remains unchanged. Next up we have The Twilight Garden by Maria Trolle. I think I may have done all the WIPs in here. This was not mine. This is someone else was coloring in my book, and that's their WIP. So I'm not going to count that one. Okay, so technically one little small one up here. So I will put it in. Because I actually can finish that little bird. It wouldn't take terribly long. All right, so next is The Flower Year by Layla Dooley, and I think I only have one whip in here. So let's see, we'll start from the back. It's easier to quickly page through. So those all November and October I didn't have. So technically the flower year I had 2 whips. I did one, so I've got one left. So let's see. All right, so here's one whip. So 1. All right, technically I suppose we could say 2. All right, so I will be honest and I will put down 2 for the flower year. So we had 1 and we went up to 2. Okay. Then we have Jasmine Beckett Griffith's coloring book, and I think I only have 1 whip in here. So this was a whip and I completed it. So Jasmine Beckett Griffith, I had 1 whip. And I think it was the poppy page, because I've just recently this year done it. So here is another, so here's my whip. This is a new whip. So I colored the old whip and I created a new whip. Okay, so 2 whips. No, 1. So I completed this whip, but I created a new whip. Because this was the poppy page, but I just started a new whip, so we will do it like that. Then we have Dragonology. Now in here, we do have 1 whip. So actually I've got 2. 1, 2. Okay, so I have 2 whips. So these are 2 new whips, technically, because I don't think I recorded it. Then I have goddesses. Now in goddesses, I don't have a WIP, but I will show you the WIP that I finished. Next is Ken Matsuda's coloring book. Now here I do have a page that I think it's the one page I haven't completed. I haven't touched this book. I just, yeah, it happens. Now I do know I have a WIP. This one. So this is my WIP and it remains a WIP. Then we have Gnomes in the Neighborhood by Denise Kletz. And I have 2 WIPs in here, so let's have a look. Okay, so WIP number 1 is this one. Two, and then technically the worst of them all, this one, so 3. I need to redo this guy, but with having gouache paint, I could probably redo this and it would look nice, and I could probably come over here and just fix it up. So that's 3, so I've added 1. Then we have my only Game of Thrones books I've started coloring, so I only have 1 WIP in here, and it is this one. So this is still a WIP, but I'm getting there slowly but surely. So 1 WIP. Okay, so then we have R.J. Hampson's Moonlight Mischief. Now in here I have got 1 WIP, and it is a jar, a house, like a world within a jar kind of page. So it is this page here. So that is my first WIP. And this is a new to me book this year, so next I have Fairy and Fantasy 2 by Christine Karen, and in this one I have 1 WIP, and I still have this WIP, and it will be this one. So that is my WIP. Then in Chris Ortega's A Colorless Kingdom, also a new to me book, I also have 1 WIP here, and I think it's a bit further back, and it is this one. Then we have Nice Little Town 6 by Tanya Bogema-Stolova, and I have 1, 2, 3. I think this was the WIP I had last time, and I did this one. So I'm not counting that because that was one of my kids. I only count the ones I did. Okay, so it is 3. Last year I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've got 3 left. So I've done another one, which is the one I showed you. So I have 3 left, which are still old. So I'll just use the right pen for that. So we have 3. Then next in Dream Dances by Lenko Filonenko, I have got a WIP, but it is a PDF. So it is this page, and I just really need to work more on the whole page. But I do like her glittery dress. So yeah, I need to come back to that. So that is 1 new WIP, because this is also a newer book in my collection. So 1 new WIP, and I'm just gonna tuck this in here. So I did the PDF printout before I bought the book. Then we have Australian Animals and Wildflowers by Selena Fennick, and here I have my 1 WIP, which is this one. So 1 WIP here, and that will also be, I think, a new one. Okay, so it's a new one to me. And then I have Mermaid's Calm Ocean 1 WIP, and I still have the same WIP, and I will show that to you now. I actually just need to take markers and just finish it with markers. It's really wouldn't be difficult to finish off. And it is this one. So, or really just, I could even use gouache paint, just paint in the moon and then use markers and do the mermaids. And yeah, it wouldn't be too difficult. So that's a WIP that I should finish. And then we have Momo Girl with music, and I still have just this WIP here, which I started, and then I've psyched myself out, so I need to get over that and just finish this. So Momo Girl is an old WIP, and I'm just going to put that in. All right, next is Drobenwanger by Tomislav Tomic. Now in here I have got quite a few WIPs, so I'm going to go backwards again. So let me just zoom you out a bit more. You will see a shadow because my desk is really full. Okay, so just push things out the way. Okay, so I've got this double page, so this is 1. Okay, here is the second one, so number 2. I need to change tactics and do the same color but with maybe gouache paint for the background, because pencil is just going to take forever. So that's 2. Okay, 3. Here we go. This one is 4. And then here is 5. Now I had done this side with Prismacolor pencils and the background is oil pastel, which I don't really like. Either it's my oil pastels or it's this paper. So I'm thinking at some point I'm going to buy myself new oil pastels and try again. All right, so that's 5. And I think that is all. Okay, so 5 now. In my list, I had 3. So I've grown it by 2. Oh dear, I've grown it by 2. Okay, so next we're going to bring in Alien Worlds. And I think I just have one in this book. And I haven't done much in here, so it would be this one here, which is just a base with ink tints. And I haven't decided yet how to do the background, which is probably why I've stopped. So that is one. And I don't think, yeah, I didn't have it on my list. So that's a new one. And Mythic World will also be a new one. So I think in here I have 2. So I have this one. So that's 1. And I know I've got another one. It's just hiding because it's the Egyptian one. Here we go. So 2. So I've got 2 in Mythic World. So those will all be new ones. Okay, and then Worlds Within Worlds. There are a few in here. I don't think any at the back. I think they're more in the front. So I have this one here, so that's 1. Then I've got this one here where my youngest son, I think it was one of my sons, did the hand, and then I was supposed to create this weird kind of like ice. So that's 2. I think it's just those 2. Yeah. Okay, so it's those 2. And so I colored one, I had one left, and I've got 2 more. So I'm going to go with, I added 1. Okay, and then in Fragile World, I think I have 1. No, I don't. So I've got, let me move these books out of the way. So I have this double page spread. Then I have another double page spread. All right, then I have this one. So that's 2. Oh, 3 and 4. And I do want to fix this sunset. I might use gouache paint quite thick and just try and cover this up. But I'll keep the same ethos. I'll just try and see if I can fix it. Okay, so that was 3. The 2 double page spreads and the 1 single spread. And then, so in Fragile World, I had 2 left over, but I've gone and added a new one. So that makes it 3. That's it done. I'm getting lost now. I'm like, oh, where am I? Okay, so I had to be honest, I think I've made all of these new, but it's fine. So I had 2 and I've got a new 3rd one. I'll just add it in like this. Okay. So then we have Country Gardens. And I've got the same ones because I just can't get into this book. Okay, so I've got this one. So this is 1, 2, 3. Yeah, okay, so it's 3 in that one. And I've got the same 3 here, so that doesn't change. Then I have Country Charm. I've got 1 at the back, so 1. I've got 1 in the front as well. You'd think I'd have colored more in here, considering I absolutely love this book. All right, so it's just the 2. So 2 in Country Charm, which means I've gone and added 1, which is probably this last page here. So that's a new one. So we have 1 and a new one. Then in Enchanted Christmas, I have still got the same WIP I've had for a while. It just doesn't end, I tell you. My book is in a different order because of it falling apart. Okay, so this is my WIP. And it's on different colored paper because I wanted to see how the Prismacolors respond to a different paper background. So 1, this is not mine, that's my one son. So 1 WIP so far. Pretty sure I have another one. 2, although I'm not confident this is ever going to be done, but I will count it. 2 and then 3. So I have 3 in Enchanted Christmas, and which means I've added 2. So I had done 1, I've got 1 left, so I've added 2. Okay, and then autumn charm. I think I just have 1 in here. And I will show you which one it is because I am currently busy with this page. And it is this page. And I'm really enjoying how it's turning out. I think it's so pretty. And I'm trying different things. So this one, so new one there. Okay, so we're slowly getting there. We're almost done. I've just got 2 loads of books left. So let's have a look at Gods and Goddesses Special by Coloring Heaven. And it's just the same WIP as I had a while ago. And it is this WIP. And really, it wouldn't take me more than probably about 2 hours to finish this. So I really haven't got an excuse. I just haven't got round to it. So I need to get on with this one. And actually, I might try prioritize it the next couple of months. So 1 in Gods and Goddesses, Coloring Heaven. And as you can see here, it's the same one. So that is 1. Then the steampunk special will be the same. I had 3 in the steampunk special, so it's most likely going to be the same 3. So we have 1. I should do this one. I actually read the book. So I've got so much context now. And I should do this one because I read the books. Okay, all right, priorities. Prioritize. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, so 3. And then I had said 3 in previously, so those are the same. Then Mermaid Special. I also have 3 supposedly. So 1. I may not have counted this one last year. Depends on my mood, whether I'm hopeful I will be able to rescue my pages or if they're absolutely ruined. Usually I am confident I can fix them. It just really depends on how I'm feeling. So I've got 1, 2. I think all the details on this page actually overwhelmed me, so yeah. It's 2. Apparently I have a whole lot of papers in here. Okay, 3. All right, so same 3 over there. And then fantasy figures, I have 2, and I probably still have the same 2. I actually forgot about this book for my coloring autumn pages. I could probably do some in here. So 1. I mean, like this one we could do for autumn. Look really pretty. We could do this one for autumn as well. and then 2. Okay, so I had said 2 of those, so all my coloring heavens have stayed the same. I haven't changed any of those. All right, so then let's have a look at some of the smaller books, and then I'll go back to a few other books. So we have Reptiloids coloring book. This is the first one, and I have got 1. These are usually marker based, and then I go over them with pencils. So 1, 2, 3, and I have 1 further back here. 4. So I have 4 WIPs. And this is normally how I do it. I just base it and then I go over it with pencils. And it works quite well. I've just lost a bit of interest in this book. So yeah. So that's 4 in Reptiloids. And I had 4 last time. So that's remained the same. And then Mine Rice Dirge Europa. I think I only have 1. Yes, and I know exactly which one it is. It's this ship one here. It's like a little boat. So it is this one. I don't think I have any more in here. I haven't colored in here the whole year. So yeah, so just 1. Next we have A. Paul's Forest Girls coloring book. And I do still have quite a few WIPs in here. I don't like Prismacolors in this paper, but I do need to try polys. I have a feeling I might like polys. If you have preference, let me know. So I've got 1, which I've been using watercolors for. So I actually could possibly finish this with watercolors, and it could probably work out very well. 1. And I've done skin on all of them, but they're so small, I'm not counting it. So but if I was, that would be 3. I can count them, it's not a problem. 4. I still need to fix this. Oh, it's so terrible. 5. And these are old WIPs, so yeah. So that would be 5. I don't know if I counted all of them last time, but I'm going to mark them as old. All right, so now we're going to move on to Hannah Carlson, and we have Tales from the Forest Kingdom, and I definitely have 1 WIP in here. I don't think I have more than that. I tend to do most of my WIPs in Magical Dawn. So my WIP is this one. So 1. I think that's the only WIP. Yeah. Yep. No. Yep. 1 WIP. So that's 1 in Tales from the Forest Kingdom. And I think it's the same one from last year. And then Tales from the Midnight Masquerade. I've also got, should only have 1 WIP. So let's see. and it is this one. I've already done this side, so it's 1, okay, so 1 each in here, and last time I had 1 in Midnight Masquerade, and here we have 1 in Tales from the Forest Kingdom, so those remain unchanged. Then we have Magical Dawn by Hannah Carlson. Now I have got quite a lot of WIPs in here, probably a good 6 or to 8. So 1, 2, this mushroom 1, 2, 3. I did not do this, so I'm not really counting it. So I'm up at 3. 4. This one's old, 5. This double page spread is also an old WIP, so 6. And then if I go from the back of the book, we have this one, 7. Okay, so I've got 7 WIPs in Magical Dawn. Last year I had 3, and now I have 7. So I've added 4. Yes, there are no words, I tell you. Okay, so old WIPs here. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so let's have a look at Clara Markova. I think this is Magical Delights or Fairy Delights, one of the two. I have 1 WIP in here. I have to be very careful because there are pictures in here that have been colored by people who previously owned the book. So I have this WIP, kind of leaning it over here, so that's 1. And that one hasn't changed, so 1 in there. Then we have Fairy Touch of Magic. And I'm not sure if I have a WIP in here, actually. Actually, I do. I know where it is. So I have the double page spread, so that's 1. Technically here 2. This one here for Christmas, so 3. I think that's all. Yeah. Okay, so just 3. This one was an old WIP. Fairy Touch of Magic, I have one old WIP, which is that garden one, and I have 2 new WIPs. Then we have Romantic Country, the first tale by Erie. And I have a lot of WIPs in here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Everything so far has been done with gouache paint. 5. This page, 6. 7. 8. This one here, 9, although I need to rethink the houses. I'm not really liking them. I think some of them I'll keep, but I need to rethink a few others. So that's 9 pages in Romantic Country, the first tale. And in the second tale, I have 1, this double page spread, 2, I suppose technically this one here, 3, because I painted the moon. That's 3 there. And then technically this one, because I started the nutcrackers, so 4. But that should be it. Yeah. Okay, so 9 in the first tale, 4 in the second. And I just worked out 5 just for Erie. So, okay, we'll just do them. The Hawthorne page is one of my old ones. So I'll do the 2 Christmas ones, and then 2 Christmas ones, the house one, and then the rest I'll do new. So the kitchen, the portraits, the stamps. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I don't mind if they're old or new, really, it doesn't matter. Okay, so the last time I updated my WIPs, I had 78 WIPs as of the 29th of June 2023. Let's see as of the 13th of August, no, 13th of October. Okay, so I need to date this. 13 October 2024. And then I'll count up the total. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49. It's not looking good. 50. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 60, 63, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I have made it worse. I have a grand total of 107 WIPS, which means I added 29 WIPS in a year. Over a year I've added 29 WIPS. So if you want to know that it's okay to just add WIPS and be a person who has a lot of WIPS, it is totally okay. It is totally fine to color any which way you wish and never go back to your WIPS or go back to your WIPS later on. There are no rules. It is also okay to have absolutely no WIPS at all. But there you go. I have 107 WIPS in my entire coloring book collection, excluding The Secret Garden, because that is a book, that specific book in my collection, I don't see myself going back to. So it just will stay the way it is. I don't want to include it. It represents something before I actually embraced adult coloring as a hobby. So yes, there you go. I have a lot of WIPS. I don't mind. I will hopefully try and reduce it and then get it back up, but you know, maybe it just becomes a thing. You may agree with it, you may not. Either which way, I hope you have a wonderful time this month coloring in your lovely books, enjoying the creative process and expressing yourself in a creative way, enjoying that mindlessness, the mindfulness that comes with just switching off your brain, having some peace, having some time just for yourself to refresh and replenish for the week and the month ahead. And by all means, just create as you need to. Whatever your style is, know that it is beautiful and it adds life and vibrancy to the world around you. Anyways, everyone, take care and I look forward to seeing you in another video. Until then, happy coloring.